New York State Department of Health, at least at this time, doesn't intend to provide any additional guidance to the schools throughout the state of New York.
Joseph Rica is the superintendent of the White Plains City School District in Westchester County. He tells Pix 11 this is the guidance he received from the State Department of Health today on how to reopen schools this fall. The commissioner is saying with the end of the state disaster emergency on June 25th, schools and school districts should develop plans to reopen in person in the fall as safely as possible, recommending school districts follow guidance from the CDC.
I think we can do better. It's disappointing and it's a little frustrating. A little frustrating because we were kind of in a holding pattern throughout the summer as we were waiting for the updated guidelines.
Bob Lowry is with the New York State Council of Superintendents. He says school officials were being told all summer they were going to get guidance from the state.
If this is tied to the fact that the state rescinded the state of emergency, well, that was back on June 25th. If they had announced that earlier, then school officials in conjunction with their county health departments could have been formulating and finalizing decisions.
Dr. Betty Rosa, the New York State Education Commissioner, also troubled by the decision, pushing back with this letter to health officials tonight, referencing the sexual harassment controversy surrounding Governor Cuomo and saying it should not prevent the Department of Health from executing its responsibilities. The White Plains School District says it will follow the CDC recommendations in the fall, which is to have students and staff wear masks in classrooms, just as they did last school year.
Every single person inside of our facilities will be wearing a mask or facial covering.
New York City Public Schools, which usually develops its own plans, tells Pix 11 it too will follow CDC guidance and work with health experts for a safe reopening in September. But the other school districts in Westchester County, upstate, and on Long Island will now have to put their thinking caps on and work with local health officials and their communities to study best ways to reopen, just as they did back in March of 2020 when schools pivoted to remote learning.
We've had a lot of practice, and I think superintendents and their local colleagues will rise to the occasion.
And again, school districts across New York State will now have to figure out on their own how to safely reopen in the fall. As for vaccinating students 12 years and older, we did talk with the superintendent of White Plains tonight, who tells us that he will encourage parents to talk with their doctors and their kids' doctors to see what works best for them. But again, that's also something that each school district will have to figure out on their own. We're live in Westchester County tonight. Jennifer Bisram, Pix 11 News.